How did you get interested in listening?
The way I want to do this is two things. I want to start out by talking about my teaching experience and how that got me interested in focusing on listening. And then I'm going to talk briefly about my own language learning experience and how that also made me think quite a bit about listening. So as I mentioned earlier, I started teaching English in Taiwan when I was in my early 20s. And I was teaching what was said to be a conversation class in those schools. But I discovered quite soon that while people really referred to this as speaking and conversation, there was a whole lot of listening, and without listening, you couldn't really do a whole lot of speaking. So I began emphasizing listening in my conversation classes because I felt that this helped the students to learn better. So I would have them do a lot of listening, I would have them listen to each other, I would have them listen to me, and I would have them listen to a lot of media. And as a result, I feel like their speaking improved just from actually listening. The other thing is at that school is we gave speaking tests, but I soon discovered that since those speaking tests were based on questions that were given orally, the students struggled more probably because of their listening skills and their speaking skills. So this also got me thinking about listening. And finally, I want to talk just briefly about my own study experience. So I spent a number of years studying Japanese, and I was constantly being told that my listening was just not very good. I always got lowest scores on the listening section of the test. I'd do much better on the reading and writing and even the speaking, but my listening was just not very good. And so it made me think seriously about what I needed to do as a listener to become better at a language. So that also got me thinking and interested in listening as compared to the other skills.
Professor Oki noticed that whenever there's a class that's called speaking or conversation, it really means that the students need to do a lot of listening. He noticed that when he increased the listening practice for his EFL students, he found that their speaking improved. And he also noticed the importance of listening when he studied Japanese himself. He said he had a lot of trouble understanding oral language. He said that his own experience made him want to find strategies for teaching listening better to his English EFL students. I asked Professor Oki to tell us why he thinks that listening is so important for English learners. He said that it's obvious. There's so much to listen to on the internet today. Let's listen to what he had to say.
Why do you think it's important to teach listening to students?
Well, I think this is rather obvious in the world that we live in now. Listening has become very important with the internet. A lot more information is now presented through the listening channel. It used to be that we read books, we read the newspaper. Now we listen to a lot of this information online. So listening has become very important, especially in the last 10 to 20 years as the internet has become more and more common. The world's plugged in now. You watch people walk by and they're plugged in, they're listening on their headphones. It's all about listening now. So much of the information is only available in English, and it's really important that we're able to listen and comprehend English. The other reason I think it's important that students learn about listening is because listening is a big part of speaking. So as I mentioned earlier, if you're taking a test, a speaking test, and you can't understand the questions, it's pretty unlikely that you're going to get a very good speaking score. And if you're unable to comprehend the views of others, it's pretty hard for you to contribute to some kind of discussion. So listening is really important if you want to be a person that is involved in interacting with others.